It seems to be all that anyone is talking about, jaw-dropping gas prices. But what is really behind all that rise in prices? I spoke to Doug Shute from the Auto Club of Southern California.
To drivers, gas price spikes feel sudden. One day, prices look manageable. The next day, they're climbing fast, with no clear explanation. It feels like a switch was flipped overnight. But in reality, California gas price spikes don't come out of nowhere. They build quietly. Long before prices change at the pump, the system starts flashing warning signs. Refinery schedules tighten, supply margins shrink, risk premiums creep upward. None of this makes headlines, and none of it is visible to the average driver. But markets see it and they react early. By the time prices jump, the outcome is already locked in. The spike isn't a surprise to the system. It's only a surprise to consumers. That's what makes California gas prices so frustrating. The signals are there, but they're buried inside a complex system most people never see. And once prices move, there's no fast way to reverse them. If you want to understand why gas prices in California feel like they're always one step ahead of you, you have to understand the warnings that appear long before the numbers change on the sign. Price shocks don't start at the pump. Gas prices don't change randomly. They are the final result of a chain of events that begins far away from the gas station. In California, that chain starts inside a fuel system operating under constant strain. The pump price is the last signal, not the first. By the time drivers see prices rise, the market has already adjusted internally. Wholesale prices have moved, risk premiums have been added, supply assumptions have changed. The outcome is already decided. The quiet phase before every spike. Every major California price spike begins with a quiet phase. During this phase, nothing appears wrong to consumers. Fuel is available. Prices look stable. Stations operate normally. Behind the scenes, however, conditions are tightening. Refinery utilization increases. Maintenance schedules overlap. Import options narrow. Storage levels drop slightly. None of these changes trigger public concern, but together, they reduce flexibility. This is when the system becomes vulnerable. Why tight margins matter more than headlines. California's fuel system runs with extremely tight margins. There is very little extra capacity available to absorb disruption. In a system with slack, problems can occur without major consequences. In a system without slack, even minor issues cause outsized reactions. California is firmly in the second category. How markets react before drivers do. Fuel markets are forward-looking. They do not wait for outages to occur. They respond to probability. If the likelihood of disruption increases, prices move. If supply looks uncertain weeks ahead, prices adjust now. This is why price spikes often appear to come out of nowhere. The adjustment already happened upstream. The role of refinery scheduling. Refineries schedule maintenance months in advance. When multiple refineries schedule maintenance at the same time, capacity tightens. Even if everything goes according to plan, the margin shrinks. If anything goes wrong, the system has no backup. Markets watch these schedules closely. Drivers don't. Aging infrastructure increases sensitivity. Many of California's refineries are older facilities. Aging equipment increases the risk of unplanned outages. When the system already operates near capacity, the possibility of failure becomes a pricing factor even before failure occurs. Risk alone moves prices. Why prices jump instead of fuel disappearing. California avoids visible shortages by using price as a control mechanism. When supply tightens, prices rise to reduce demand. This prevents empty pumps but transfers stress to consumers. Price spikes are not evidence of chaos. They are evidence of a system managing scarcity. The psychological lag drivers experience. Drivers experience prices with a delay. They respond emotionally because they are always reacting, never anticipating. Markets, on the other hand, are always anticipating. They price in tomorrow's risk today. This gap creates frustration. Drivers feel blindsided, while markets feel prepared. Why price drops don't undo the damage. When conditions improve, prices rarely return to previous lows. The system remains tight. The next disruption is always possible. Because risk never disappears, neither does the premium built into prices. This is why relief feels temporary and incomplete. The cost of ignoring early signals. Each time a spike occurs, public attention focuses on the outcome rather than the buildup. Investigations, blame, and outrage follow. But by that point, the opportunity to intervene has passed. Capacity cannot be added quickly. Imports take time. Infrastructure cannot be rushed. Ignoring early warning signs guarantees late reactions. How this impacts households and businesses. Unpredictable gas prices make planning difficult. Families struggle to budget. Small businesses face unstable transportation costs. Over time, volatility becomes a hidden cost of living, one that hits hardest where alternatives are limited. Why stability is getting harder to achieve. As capacity shrinks and infrastructure ages, warning signs appear earlier and spikes become more frequent. The system becomes increasingly sensitive. What once caused mild price movement now causes sharp jumps. This is the trajectory California is on. What drivers can learn from the pattern. Drivers may not control the system, but understanding the pattern reduces shock. Price spikes are not surprises, they are delayed reactions. When prices look calm, that does not mean the system is healthy. Why this pattern will repeat. Without new flexibility or rapid demand reduction, the warning signs will continue to appear and the spikes will follow. The system is behaving exactly as its structure dictates. Final perspective. California gas prices don't shock drivers because they are unpredictable. They shock drivers because the warning signs are hidden. By the time prices move, the decision has already been made by the system itself. Until those early warning signs are addressed, drivers will continue feeling surprised, even when the outcome was inevitable all along.